Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another session of Pulaski County Fiscal Court. I know it's different this time around. It's been a couple of tough weeks for 10 days. Pulaski County has came through very strong. We're blessed that the community has came together. It's unbelievable what we have went through, but everybody has stepped up. Countywide, area-wide, and statewide, we've had people here from everywhere without being asked to be here. But it's amazing. We'll have a little more on that as we go along today. But I do want to give a special shout out to our first responders, everybody from dispatch to our volunteer fire departments, our road crew, EOC, law enforcement. We've had some long hours and appreciate everyone. I want everybody to remember that going forward. Don't ever doubt the power of Pulaski County and the citizens, because they really came through. But it's been a tough one. It's still going on. We're not done. We've got some special guests here today that will help us get through some reports that we're doing. But just I want the community and everybody to know how blessed we are to live in Pulaski County. Magistrates, you've done a great job taking care of the needs of the county. It's just a difficult situation to see what all we've seen in the last 10 days. It's been trying on all of us, but we're going to make it. We're going to make it. I want to let the citizens know I am running into some, not problems, but just issues that Pulaski seems to be so proud. Some people won't ask for help. And we're running into a lot of that. And I want to encourage the citizens, don't be ashamed to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask FEMA or other people, community volunteers, because they are wanting to help you. And we are running into some of them. The people I've talked to some families that are standing in the middle of their home, what used to be their home, and say, what can we do for you? And they say nothing. We've got everything we need. And it's just, it's unbelievable that people will not ask or accept help. But don't be ashamed of that. I'm talking to the general public here because I know we're on the air. But don't be ashamed of that. We all need help. I need help. We have it every day, but we have it more in the last 10 days than I've had probably in my lifetime. You know, it's an event that we try to prepare for with our EOC. We talked about it around this table here for a year, how important it is to be prepared, and we never want it. We never expect it. And some people say, why would you spend money for things that'll probably never happen? And I always thought it probably wouldn't happen during my term, but it did. We've came through it. We're still working on it. We'll need lots of help going forward, but appreciate everything everybody has done. But just proud to be Pulaski County. Our normal thing we do here, of course, we have a moment of silence. We have a lot to be thankful for, and I've asked Mr. Turpin to lead us in the pledge. But first of all, I want to open it up for any comments. I want to hold your comments down because we'll have lots of items here later to discuss a lot of things. But any needs in the community other than just general prayer for the whole community, the families affected, the survivors, people that are without homes right now, injuries. We were just very, very lucky, and I say this with a little bit of hesitancy. We're very lucky we came through it with just one fatality and 3 or 4 injuries. It could have been so much worse going forward, but we're lucky. Any comments?
Laurel County. Prayers for Laurel.
Laurel County, don't forget them people. They were devastated there, and they had the loss of life, a lot of them.
And Russell County as well. It started there, and a lot of folks didn't realize how hard Russell got hit.
Yes.
We need to be in prayer for the Gabi family
Mm-hmm.
as they're going through a tremendous loss, unexpected loss. We need to be in prayer for every victim of this situation and to give them the strength they need. So, and then we also need to be, I've got a couple unspoken ones, major unspoken ones I found out while I was out there that we need to all pray for, so.
Right. Anyone else? Everyone will bow your head and just in a moment of silence and just deep thought here. Thank you. Everyone please stand and face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. First item of business would be to approve the minutes of the May 13th fiscal court meeting. And we have a copy in front of you. Take a minute to look those over, see any changes or comments we need to make.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Strunk to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business. Want to ask for approval of county bids. We opened those 2 weeks ago, and I think everybody's had a chance to review those.
I make a motion that we approve all the bids that were submitted to be used throughout the year. Not sure if we need to rebid the one that we did, the areas that we didn't get bids on, so we might have to rebid.
We do that in a separate motion.
Yeah.
Have a motion to approve the county bids that were opened 2 weeks ago.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wheeldon. Motion made by Mr. Renshaw. Any discussion on those? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
And then I make a motion that we rebid the areas that we didn't get any bids on. I think concrete was one of them, I think, and
We did not receive a bid on concrete. And
I think there's a couple others in there.
I think that was the only one we didn't get a bid on. I'm not sure what happened, but we didn't get anything turned in, so I need to have them. Also, sign supplies, we did not have a bid on those.
Second to rebid for them items.
Have a motion by Mr. Renshaw and a second by Mr. Strunk to rebid the bids we did not get. I guess that's one way to put it. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. That would be rebid concrete and sign supplies. Next item of business in the new business section would be to purchase 2 backhoes for the county use.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Wheelan and a second by Mr. Ranshaw.
And these are purchased at state prices, right?
That will be at the state master agreement price. We did get some prices in on those, and we're looking at those now, but I have a motion on the floor to approve the purchase of 2 backhoes. Any comments or questions on those? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Moving on to department reports. First up would be Chris with Emergency Management.
Morning, Judge, fellow magistrates. I'm sure you are all sort of waiting for what I've got for you, so I will start right in. Confirmed EF4, 55.6 miles on the ground, width of about 1,700 yards at its maximum. The biggest storm we've had that National Weather Service Jackson has ever tracked. And only the fourth EF4 in the county in the last 50 years. So it was a whale of a storm. We stood well, and I'm here to give you a report on some of the things that we did in this last week. FEMA is here. They've actually been here since Saturday. My last set of numbers. Oh, by the way, this gentleman sitting next to me, this is Joseph Martin. He's represents FEMA. He's the division supervisor for this area. He's going to be here specifically to help Pulaski County recover. And while he's not actually permitted to make an actual statement, he is available to answer questions if I can't answer them for you. As we stand right now, we had two pod sites, one at the Nancy Fire Department and then one at Mount Victory. They've seen a total of 10 at Mount Victory, 43 at Nancy, and then we also had 27 come in at the Somerset location, which is located down in the Center for Rural Development. We have one Red Cross shelter currently open. It's at the Life Church on Jordan's Way. I expect that to remain open for the next 48 to 72 hours until their shelter response teams get here, and then we'll have a conversation about what we need to do going forward over there. But it is still open. Congressman Rogers, I was notified, will be setting up a table also at the DRC to deal with his constituents. So any constituents or anybody that have a concern, they will also be available at that DRC. County records are going to be there. In fact, they're already there. And if vital statistics is not there from the state, I will make a phone call and we'll get somebody down there. And that's mostly to help out with people who've lost documents. Social Security also has a table over there as well, because obviously our Social Security office got hit pretty hard. We have a pod, which is a place where you can drop off supplies and other needed items. It's located right now. It's going to be moved as of today, correct, Stacy? Today to the Hal Rogers Training Center, Building 4, and you'll need to get a hold of Mr. Halcomb at 305-6963 to let him know, hey, I'm coming with a load of stuff, and we'll make arrangements to get your items dropped off. I want to give a shout out to a lot of folks that helped me. A comment was made to me again this morning. Boy, we're glad you were there when this thing kicked off. And I would say, well, thank you for that, but by no means did I do it alone. I had a phenomenal amount of help. And just as an aside, McCreary County sent me help. Cumberland County sent me help. Garrett County sent me a lot of help. Russell County sent me help. We had help from the Mercer County Sheriff's Department, Winchester PD, Harrodsburg PD, Kentucky National Guard was here. In addition, I want to give a special mention to both Nancy Fire Department and Mount Victory Fire Departments for their amazing support of these folks in this time of trouble. Public health, our public health programs supported the EOC tremendously. I couldn't have gotten it done without them. And then I also want to give a shout out to both Somerset Fire and Somerset City PDs that did the initial response the night of, and Pulaski County Sheriff's Office was there huge. So all of these people, every single one of these folks that I've mentioned, we are not where we are today without their help. And I am immensely in their debt for everything they did to help me get that EOC up and running and to keep it running for the past week. As we currently stand, I have shut down EOC operations. I don't need to keep staff in there right now, but we are still answering calls. If folks still need help, we can still do that. We will take calls for as long as we have to. So we're gonna continue to work that issue as well. So that's kind of what we've accomplished up to this point. And now I will ask if any of you have any questions specifically of me.
Your FEMA rep, can you, a lot of the people I've been talking to out in my district are afraid to actually go ahead and fill out the application and all that for help, because they're pushing for an account number for the bank accounts. That's not a mandatory situation, isn't it? They can actually be mailed a check?
They typically fund bank accounts,
I
from
know,
what I
but
understand.
I
but
believe on the flyer, I think I seen something about it's an option and it's not a mandatory thing.
Probably so.
So they can be mailed checks if they prefer, because a lot of them's afraid to give out that information to anybody, especially government. I mean, it's just the way it works. So I just want to bring up the point that they still need to go in and talk to you guys. I know some have and elected not to do it because they were required to give a bank number. We need to make sure we're telling these folks that it's not a requirement. You guys can mail them a check.
Let me run it back up my chain, and I'll find out an answer for you and have it for you today.
Because that's one of the biggest problems I have out there right now. And I've told people, I said, with any misconceptions you had about FEMA, at least go talk to them. But then they come back out and said, hey, I didn't do anything because they're requiring the bank account information. I don't want to give them bank account information. I said, well, I seen the flyer. It doesn't say that's a mandatory thing.
Here's part of the problem. If their house got destroyed or damaged, and
It's
they're
a quick-
missing a mailbox, how are they supposed to get mail?
Yeah, so, I
And
mean,
the bank account is going to be the fastest way to fund.
right. It's the fastest way to fund, but, I mean, we got a lot of people that's walking away because it's
Okay.
almost
Let
mandatory.
me double check that, and I'll get back.
So I
I'll
was
give you
listening to the
answer
numbers
today.
he was giving me, and that's like a handful of the homes that are out there that's been damaged.
Yes.
We've got 252 assessments is what we did countywide.
Those are just homes, or is that homes
businesses,
and farmers?
buildings. Homes, businesses, buildings are what we did. We're at 252 right now.
And
And I expect that number to go up.
Yeah, because I got calls over the weekend from places that's probably hasn't called you yet. So,
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for everything you've done.
Next item, we need to hire a seasonal worker at PC Park. I want to ask for the court to hire Jacqueline Vaught as a seasonal to help out at the park. She'll be helping us with some overtime that we're having to put in there, especially on weekends. But I have talked to her, and I think she'd be a good addition for just the seasonal to take care of the park. If I can get a motion to hire that one.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on this item? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. She will start work as soon as she does her pending pre-employment stuff that needs to be done. Next would be solid waste. Mr. Danny at solid waste. Oh, it's me. Okay. I never know who's going to show up.
Well, he's here.
All right.
I just have two properties that need to be cleaned up. The first is 41 Mark Street, has a burn trailer and several vehicles that need to be removed. And the second is 358 Prather Road. It's got a trailer that they've started cleaning up, but they didn't finish, so.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wheeldon and a second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on these two items to be cleaned up? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up would be Anthony, the jailer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I know this has been a trying time for everybody for the past few weeks, and I want to give a special shout out to the first responders. Whenever I came out Saturday morning, the first responders, they were out working hard, and, many of them were volunteers that were out there using their own money, their own gas, and they did an exceptional job. And I just want to, I know this has been a tragic time for all of us. Whenever I met with the judge, the judge said keep a list of, what people need. And one of the biggest things that Judge and I talked about was people needed generators. I've got a private company who is willing to give us some money to purchase some generators. I've done rent it by Martin, the user agreement to make sure that it was proper to do so. I would like to ask you all to let us buy some generators and have a user agreement. If we ever have something like this happen again, where people can call us and we will loan these generators out to them until the crisis is over, then we'll go back and do it. My staff, I've talked to them, have agreed to go out to make sure that they're properly set up, to make sure the people properly know how to use them. It's going to be under the bid amount, but I would like for your all's approval to go ahead and to implement a program like this to where we can have some generators on hand to loan out to the people of Pulaski County whenever they have these long-term outages. I think that was one of the biggest needs that we saw coming up right off the bat, because several places we went, people were running trying to buy generators, and of course, by the time they got there was no generators to be had. So with your all's approval, I would like to use this money to purchase the generators, so we will have generators on hand to loan out and give them a user agreement, and to be able to try to help this one need that I saw was the most.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw, second by Mr. Strunk.
Do we know how many?
What I want to do, I don't really want to give out the amount that they're going to give us right now, because I want to try to go out and have people to give me a quote or a price. I don't want to say I'm going to give, I'll bring back to court how many we bought and how much we paid in the future, but it's going to be several that we're going to be able to get. It'll be under the bid price, but I don't want to put that amount right out until I can get quotes and everything. So people are going to get a fair judgment on it.
I don't know if the state has any set prices for generators. We might want to look at that.
Yeah, we will
just
look
like
at
the
that.
vehicles.
Yes, we will look at that. So, but once we get them purchased, I'll bring how many we purchased and the purchase price back to the court and give you all an update on that.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
Thank you.
Anthony, stay there just a moment. I want to call special recognition to your crews that you had out. We will call them some of your occupancy at the jail, but they were everywhere. You had 5 or 6 crews out every day from day one. We certainly couldn't done without them, because they have made a huge, huge difference in every community I've been in. They've been there. They have cleaned subdivisions, right-of-ways, private property, everywhere, and I've got many, many people everywhere I went have discussed we could not have had it cleaned up the way we did without your help.
Well, it's, it's part of giving back to the community. Wayne County also called, and Wayne County also sent some inmates up here to work along beside of ours. So, I had several other jailers from across the state. Some were 2.5 hours away, that called and said, but, we know we're this far away, but if you need our inmates, but Wayne County is right here close, and, Wayne County sent inmates up here to help us too, but we're going to be here till it's over, so.
Appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Next up, it's not on the agenda, but the sheriff would like to give a report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to kind of tell mostly talking to the public and the magistrates and the judge about what I seen myself. We come out initially the night that it happened. I called all my deputies out, all my patrol guys, all my clerks. They was awesome. They came out without hesitation. We hit the subdivisions. You got to understand, at the night it happened, we didn't know where it hit. You know, it's 11 o'clock at night, so we're trying to figure it out. So they're hitting every home to determine, you know, had them hitting every subdivision from out Nancy all the way to Mount Victory. So I think they've done an outstanding job, but with that being said, we had a lot of help. I'm very, very cautious. I've thought a lot about this. I was going to do a list. I'm not going to do that because I'll inevitably leave somebody out. If you're a first responder, and I'm talking about the jail now, and I'm talking about everybody, SRTs, like I said, I wasn't going to name them because you wouldn't believe the amount of help we had. It was outstanding. So if you're a first responder, you know you helped, then I want to say I appreciate you for being there. The public in general, the public coming out themselves and cleaning up the roads, taking care of their neighbors, is like you wouldn't believe. I don't have enough time to stand here and tell you the stories that I have about the neighbors and stuff. And some of them need to be, maybe at a later date will happen. Some of them have drugged some people out of the houses and stuff need to be recognized. But I'm working on a list of that as well to get that later. The people that for the donations for within the county and without of the county are astronomical. How much donations we've been given by people is really good. We're blessed to live in this county. I just want to say I was in awe of all the houses that was destroyed, not to have any more injuries or fatalities than we had. Not to take away from Miss Godby or not to take away from those that are injured, but for the devastation that came through this county, I hit every single road in this county that had been hit, and I'm amazed that we don't have no more injury or loss of life than we've had. I want to talk about the looting. We have a very small issue with that. I know people's talked to me, but that's based on the fact that we did have outside law enforcement agencies coming in. We had inside law enforcement agencies here. I had help that I was going to have to turn it away, just to be honest with you, because we had so much. But the looting was very minimal. We did have a few incidents here in Pulaski County, but nothing major here in Pulaski County. We'll continue to do that. While these houses are down, we'll continue to do extra patrol on these residences, on these roads where they've been hit. So we'll continue to do that as well. Judge Todd stole my thunder there when he first gave his opening speech on the Proud. That's exactly what I was going to say, is every home I go to, they would sit there and say, don't need nothing. They don't have nothing, but they don't need nothing. It's amazing. I was going to issue that same sentiment that, hey, we have the resources out there. We have people wanting to help you out, so don't be ashamed to ask. Don't be too proud. And that's both out Nancy and out Mount Victory as well. It's a big, big issue with people just denying help, saying they don't need anything. So don't be too proud. And I'll end with this. The next couple of weeks, everybody comes in droves when it's initially happened. We just don't need to forget them. Next couple of weeks, next couple of months, is still these people's going to be suffering. We don't need to leave them hanging. So just continue to have them in your prayers. Continue to have them in your thoughts and their needs if they still need things. And I just want to give you that update. Any questions from you all?
I wanted to say something. There was a situation when it first happened. We got the call to go out to William Sears Road for a gentleman that was back down in there that was trapped underneath trees.
Yes.
And as I was headed out that way, a couple of state troopers and Pulaski County sheriffs were following me. We get up there, and I, tried to figure out what's going on. They did not, the state troopers or the Pulaski County sheriff, and I don't know who they are or what, it was so sudden. But they jumped through those trees, and you're looking at probably a quarter mile of trees to get to this guy. I didn't even hear anything out of them for 2 to 3 hours. I was worried about him as we were cutting the pathway to get this guy out. But the fact that they just jumped in it, they didn't hesitate. So I don't know who the state troopers were. I don't know who the deputies were. But all in all, eventually there was 8 or 10 deputies and state troopers back down in there. So
we had that same
they
issue.
did a great job.
Same issue with the house out Nancy, that trying to get to that house out Nancy. to where the people was divided, got separated before the tree fell on the house. Same issue on Jones Knob Road, getting in there, and same issue on Bourbon Road. You could only come in from one way, so you had to walk the distance of it. Even though it was a short section, you couldn't get to it because of the debris.
I only know how they got through all those trees. So,
Do all the people that lost their homes have housing now?
Yes, we've not had one single request for housing. I have had, and I'm sure the judge has as well, and EM as well, but I've had people personally contact me and say, hey, if you know somebody needing a home, but everybody that I've contacted has a home. So, I mean, they have a place to stay.
most of them, they're proud folks. They don't want to leave the properties. So a lot of people actually had RVs and stuff donated or for them to use. So there's a lot of, if you go around the site, you'll see a lot of RVs and stuff sitting in the property. So they don't want to leave their homes. They're proud people, and it just, but the community stepped up.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Next up would be your 911, Beverly.
Good morning. Everything I wanted to say has already been said. I will say that I was humbled to go into 911 Friday night, and the amount of retired law enforcement that was calling to check on us. Where can I go? Even the retired responders, their hearts were in it, and they would get out and they would go. I had one former police officer that was flying, and he was over the Atlantic Ocean checking on us, Pulaski County. And he was headed to Munich. I don't know what he thought he was going to do, but it's just the heartfelt of it. I've seen more this last couple of weeks than I've been humbled. I've really been humbled. Just a small statistic to go by. From 11 o'clock till 4 o'clock that night, 911 manned 402 calls. Any given night, that 5-hour time frame, they'll average 30 to 50 calls. But 4 people sat there and handled 402 calls. The EOC, when they opened up and got established, they really took a lot of heat off of us by having a number where people could contact, that we didn't have to be a part of that. We were business as usual by Monday morning. And that's phenomenal. That's working to me. With that said, I have come to request to advertise and interview and potentially hire 2 full-time people.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson. Is there any discussion, comments on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Beverly, the reason you're asking for that, you've had 1 or so to quit.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have openings. Next up would be our road department. Mr. Wayne.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to ask for the approval of the road list.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw, second by Mr. Wheeldon to approve the road list. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And that passes. I'm assuming there was no speed limit on there. I didn't get a chance to look at it. All right. Motion passes. Thank you.
And I'd like to say a special thank you to each and every one in the community that's been out and helped. We had our road department out. Lee County sent their road department over here. They helped a couple days. And just all of the people in the communities that come together and helped. So I'd like to say a special thank you to each and every one of them.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
Next up will be finance. Ms. Chrisa.
I'm looking for approval of the May bank reconciliations.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw to approve bank recs. A second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And then I have the first amendment of the budget for 2025.
Need a motion to approve the budget amendment?
Did we already have that first reading?
No, this is not the new budget. This is an amendment.
Okay.
It's the first amendment to
Okay.
the budget, sorry.
Did you get a motion on that?
Motion.
And then a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wheeldon. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And then I have a last-minute fund transfer of $500,000 from general fund to the road department. For
Motion.
road fund.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw for fund.
Second.
And second by Mr. Strunk. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All you have? All right, that concludes our business. I'm going to go to citizens' comments.
Can I read a statement?
Yes, you may.
I don't want to just come off the cuff of my head. I'll get too emotional. My heart goes out to those dealing with the tornado damage. There is still a lot that needs done. The organizations that has helped has been absolutely great. The local residents that's been helping has been magnificent, including first responders, especially Mount Victory and White Lily firefighters themselves in my district. I'm sure the firefighters in other districts that have stepped up in ways you won't believe, and the churches that have stepped up to show what God's love means by stepping up to the needs of his community. Now, in saying that, we have a long way to go and lots to do, and we are going to need even more local volunteers that can help. I will be posting our needs at the meetings with officials to see what the plan is moving forward. My top priority is to make sure the list of people who have talked with me and have contacted me as I visited so far is to make sure their needs are taken care of. No other priority should be greater than that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any citizens' comments? Miss Brenda?
Hi, I'm Brenda Russell with God's Food Pantry. There's been so many sentiments that's been echoed here that I could say as well. I know it wasn't an oversight, but I do want to also mention RECC. I don't know about you all, but if you drove anywhere out on the streets and saw the parking lots where all of the trucks were congregating from all of the other communities, I drove past the old Kmart parking lot. I had a lump so big in my throat I almost couldn't swallow for the number of trucks that were going out into our community and taking care of us. You know, so long Pulaski County has been on the giving end of every response out there for all the other communities and all the other states, and it's been very humbling, as everybody has said, to be on the receiving end of that kind of kindness, and it just really does my heart a lot of good to be in this community. I know that God's Food Pantry is not a first responder in the typical sense of those who are out there on the ground, but in the other sense, as soon as that crisis happens, our doors are open and people are there with a need. And we opened our doors first thing on Saturday morning and kept going with taking care of everybody. Those who were lost didn't know where to go for resources. They come through the door. I've been terrible about our social media and letting everybody know what we're doing, but honest to goodness, guys, we've been going from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, and the time to get on social media and share what we're doing was very, very limited. You all know that we have multiple warehouses, and I have no idea why I'm shaking. I don't shake when I speak to people, and I'm shaking right now, so it's coming from here. I had multiple organizations reach out and say, can you help us with warehousing space as the semis of help were coming into our community, and we were able to help with some of that warehousing space. I think over the course of last week, in the matter of 3 days or so, we took in about 6 tractor trailers of supplies. So with that said, I'm reaching out to the community to say that if you are helping somebody and you are missing some kind of supplies, sorry, Mark, no big equipment. This is the little stuff. I didn't get any bulldozers in, no excavators, no dump trucks. I got the little stuff.
If you have any line on any of them, let me know.
I'll keep my eyes and ears open. So with that said, if any of you have any needs within your community, reach out to me. We still have emergency food boxes available, not just for those who lost their homes, but those who lost electric and lost their food because of that. Those emergency food boxes are not income-based. You just have to come and ask. We don't ask for proof of income, and that we don't care how much money you make. We just care that you have something to eat. We doubled our sack lunch program. We went from 150 lunches a day to 300 lunches a day. So if somebody's hungry, they just need to stop in and ask. What we found over the course of the past week, that were many who wanted to make financial donations but needed a trusted source to send those donations to. And working with several across the county, we went ahead and opened up a separate checking account at God's Food Pantry. We created another business through the Secretary of State, or at least a DBA off God's Food Pantry. It's called Somerset Pulaski County Emergency Response Fund. Probably should have had it in place a long, long time ago, but I don't think we ever expected to have to need it here. And so we have that fund set in place. None of that money will be commingled with the God's Food Pantry General Fund. This is simply for emergency response. We're working on putting a board together. That will be an application process. And those individuals who have an unmet need, once all of this settles in, that's what that fund is going to be there for. We anticipate to keep it there going forward, hopefully for decades, that we have a place to put those funds. God forbid this ever happen again. At least it will be there, but I'm looking at the possibility of with the board, creating other scenarios or other crises that happen within our community that we can actually assist with. I hope the fund grows and grows and grows and we never use it, but I also know that it probably will be used, and that's what it's there for. So if anybody has a financial contribution that they want to make, you know, God's Food Pantry has been a trusted source of help in our community for 43 years. Granted, I've only been there for the last 11, but our goal has always been to support our community and to make people's lives better, no matter what's going on in their lives. So again, if you know any families that still have a need for food, send them to us. We have emergency food boxes. We'll get them taken care of. If they have supplies that they need, let us know. You guys can be the connector. Call me. I'll connect you to my front office, whatever I need to do to connect them to supplies that they need. And the other thing is we have a senior food program, especially if you have any individuals in the community that are 60 and over and have a need for an extra food box every month. Let me know on that as well. We have spaces available on that program. So does anybody have any questions on what's going on? We're open, we're there, we're ready to serve. And the EOC, I just want to say the EOC has been phenomenal in coordinating back and forth with us. So that's been a blessing.
I want to say thank you. I know we've been on the phone quite a few times, so.
You're
Trying
welcome.
to figure out what to do and,
Yep.
and how to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Brenda, for setting that fund up. We sort of had a part in doing that. John called her about getting a relief fund set up because we couldn't accept money as a county, because once it is donated to Pulaski Fiscal Court, it becomes public funds. So I contacted Attorney General, and they gave us, and the DLG gave us some advisement to go with that, and I asked Brenda to set that up. So any donations that come in, we will have a say in how that's distributed in the future. So I want to make that public. I have had several calls of some good dollars coming in, and they just need a place to put those. So I thought that would be a good start right there. We should have had it set up earlier. We probably missed our opportunity, but we'll have it from now on, and hopefully it'll never be needed, but it is available. So thanks,
Absolutely.
Brenda, for putting that forward.
Glad to do it. Glad to do it. Everybody else good? All right, call me if you need me.
Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, Mayor, we need to thank the mayor, the city of Somerset. I mean, they sent guys out Friday night and Saturday. We haven't thanked them, and I'm gonna say thank you to the mayor and the city council for sending their street department out to help us.
They've supplied equipment down at our compost pile where we're bringing in all the construction debris. They've got a couple of pieces of machinery there now helping us out, so big thanks to the city council and the mayor for doing that. Thanks for bringing that up, Mike. And also, I overlooked, Brenda brought it up, or others brought it up, the power companies. We were really blessed with RECC and KU, especially RECC. They brought in, I forget how many different trucks, over 100 different co-ops came in to help out these disaster zones. So it was a unified effort, to say the least. So we appreciate their cooperation getting the electric back on. It took a while, but when I saw it on Saturday morning, I thought it'd be longer than a week to get on because we couldn't even get to the sites, a lot of them. But appreciate that.
They're
Any
still
other
doing
comments?
a lot of work on it too.
Do what?
They're still doing a lot of work.
Still got a lot of work to do.
Work to do still, yeah. Take years to get over this.
Any other comments? I have one approaching the podium.
Just letting you know that the VFW still has a couple trailers at their location loaded with things that people may need for recovery. I know we made some deliveries to Mount Victory Fire Department. They've picked up some stuff. So there's still things out there at the VFW if anybody needs it, veterans and non-veterans alike. Just call the VFW Post 269 or get in contact with any one of these fire departments. We can deliver or you can pick it up. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson. Have a second? Second by Mr. Strunk. All in favor say aye. We will stand adjourned. Thanks to everyone.